Welcome, welcome, welcome to Wizology Show right here on Reggaeruntings TV and YouTube and commercial radio station and all across the world and across the globe. My name is DJ Wiz, your host for the Wizology Show, and let me just tell you something. Today, we have one of the most creative, the most humble, one of the most collaborated artists, one of the most established Jamaican artists ever. I think he's one of the most underrated artists because he should have been globally accepted across the world with awards and just accolades for over and over and over for his presence and what he's done for this culture and this business. His name is Konshens. Konshens, pleased to meet you. Big respect.
Yes, of
And
course.
thank you for coming on. Listen, first of all, I want to ask Konshens, where did that name come from and how did it start?
Jaja, from youth days, I'm always a person that need to have a reason to do something.
Yes, yes,
Whether something good or something bad, I still need a reason.
yes.
So that's how the name Conscience came about.
Okay, okay. So it means. So does it mean to have a reason? Does it mean to?
Yeah, your conscience. Most people hear conscience and them think conscious.
Yeah. Okay.
That's not necessarily the case.
Okay.
Your
All right.
conscience is the voice of reason.
Okay.
In your brain.
Finally. So now we know where it came from.
Yeah, yeah.
Finally. Something that a lot of people didn't know happened in 2014. You actually became an ambassador for Pepsi.
Yeah.
How did that work out, and what was the entitlement to all that?
Wow, you dig up in a file, man.
Yeah.
I don't know, a endorsement deal at the time.
Yeah.
I think I was not only one of the better dancehall artists, but one of the most marketable.
Yes.
And the buzz,
Still is to this day.
Yeah, the buzz was big at that time, so Pepsi approached and we did a regional deal, and it was great.
Wow. Wow. I didn't know that. It wasn't until I had to do some searching and searching. I
Oh,
was
you're
like,
bad.
yeah, I was like,
When the
wow,
film
this is
all right.
that is exceptional. Let me just let's get this, that you've traveled pretty much across the continents of you've reached everywhere in the world, from Japan, Asia. You just came back from Africa. You're here in Canada now. You've been doing your things. What can you tell us differently how each continent or each place accepts reggae music or conscience, just for that fact? Because I know in Africa they go absolutely
Crazy.
berserk for you.
Not just conscience, as I said, but
Okay.
dancehall music is globally appreciated.
Yeah.
And I think every continent just have the elements of dancehall that them love more,
Yeah.
and them show their love there according to them culture.
Right.
So Africa, Africa now is like the love is on steroids. Different
Yeah.
from Jamaica where we want like we do cool.
Yeah.
And, you know what I mean? And the appreciation is just different for every region where you go. For me, my career started in Japan.
Yes.
So that was a big eye opener to see people that don't speak English sing reggae and dancehall music word for word.
Yeah.
So, the culture is definitely big globally.
Do they do a lot of stuff different in terms of promotion when you reach, just seeing the market? Do they do a lot of stuff that's totally different?
Definitely. Every region, for artists, and I wouldn't say it is the blueprint or it is the way to go, but the way I approach it is just to be willing to
Yeah.
explore people culture.
Right.
You know what I mean? I know stuck in the ways everywhere I go. When I'm there Toronto, I'm there act like I'm there Miami, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you have to be open to how people culture promote and how them receive music and how them want their music delivered,
Right.
and adjust accordingly.
Wow. Do you even have a tally total of catalogs that you've done?
We just had talked about that earlier. No,
You can't. There's just, listen. You have had hits upon hits upon hits, songs upon songs upon songs, albums now that are being released. You have new album, I
Yeah.
believe, coming out.
came out.
It came out. My
Yeah.
apologies. Tell us about that a little bit. Your new album.
Red Rain
Red
came out
Rain.
November. It had one really good.
Yeah.
You know what I
Because
mean?
Bro God is
Dear Bro God
Dear
is
Bro
not,
God.
is not on the album.
Okay,
That's a single.
but that's a single that's popping right now. It's popping. So
Yeah.
I'm like, see the hits after hits that this man is establishing. New album coming out. then releases a single after that that keeps popping. I mean,
We have a couple more singles for drop to man. And I think the key for me is just more music, you know what I mean? I feel
Yeah.
like I'm just getting started. You know, enough people who I would say are Konshens fans right now
yeah,
have no idea how long me the music
Yeah.
and the work from before. So I feed them people, you know.
my gosh, you
Feel
feel like
that's
you're just
possible.
getting started.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
See, that is the professionalism and the humility that I see in a artist that is established and still growing. And I think you're a global superstar, but you say you're just starting.
Yeah,
and
man, we just I do it now.
my goodness, you know, you have of course the label is Subconscious still going on, or did you pause it?
Subconscious kind of take we gear it down a little bit.
Okay.
You know what I
okay.
mean? I focus on the Konshens brand. I think that was me kind of jumped the gun with the label.
Oh,
You know, whereas before my foot plant as an artist, as an individual artist, me kind of branch off and
okay.
I start put my hand in a different elements.
Yeah.
And me think me kind of just zone in now and just focus on the artist. So
Okay.
check me like 2 years from now.
Yeah.
I will see a next fleet of artists ready to go.
Right.
Yeah.
So I mean, do you think it was? I know it was a difficult move. That's why I asked about it.
Mhm.
But and you felt that was it a wrong move at the time to start Subconscious or
I don't look at it as wrong or right.
okay?
I look at it as the way how it went
Yeah.
and what is happening now.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know how difficult. I mean, to many of us looking around the world and around the globe, you've made it. You're here. They're saying you've restarted or you're just starting again. How difficult though is it to be a successful artist in this culture? How difficult?
To anybody who will say I made it, remember say, me have Sean Paul for the fun.
Okay.
So me feeling like I made it is a stretch, and I can
Yeah.
probably make some money. But
Yeah.
in terms of what you're doing in music, you know, make it yet. So
Yeah.
I think that's the mindset of what my life to keep and just constantly try to reinvent myself.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Constantly try to hold on to my fan base. You know, right now, most artists are looking at what the kids are doing
Yes.
and trying to tap into what the kids are doing.
Right.
But you don't want to see a 50-year-old man that try to be cool with the kids. You know what I mean? So what happened to all of the people that are your fans coming up? So I think to identify the fan base and target them and just feed them with music.
Yeah. You know, I have to ask you because your eyes are so, you know, prone to this, you're grounded to this, and you change with the times. With whatever times change, your music seems to change with it, and you seem to keep just current. But what happened that we look at in Jamaica where, and I'm going to ask a question later on where you can refer to that, you know, many of the younger artists coming up, we're not seeing the same establishment and long durance or longevity and in their music, let's say. And it's some, not all. And some have it, some don't. What made the change? What do you think?
I don't know.
Causes.
I think there's a disconnect with whatever is a new trend and what is good music. I think this is the first time, you know, music always change, but I think this is the first time where that gap is so big between what is trending and what is good music.
Yes.
When me a forward, you know, you have Konshens, you have Charlie Black, and but
Yeah.
all of we love dance and I love music, so we start. So we make sure we're not there too far from what Beanie Man and Bunty Killer and Dave Sham and Sizzla do. If you listen to it, it's not that far away.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But right now, the gap just too big between the trendy music and good music that the world love.
Yes.
And not to say the trendy music is bad music, but we
Understood.
know what sell for dancehall music and what represent the music well over the years.
Right.
And we just left it up to time. You know what I mean? Everything is a revolver.
Yeah.
So
You think it could change? You think
yeah,
that
sure.
for sure?
It's enough damage I do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So whatever comes next
To repair
is gonna
the-
be in a state of damage control.
Wow. Okay. All right. I mean, like, there's a couple of award show and you know stuff like that I personally, in my own opinion, have felt snubbed reggae music. And when I say that, I mean, I think that the forefront should be where they should be on stage, on the television, accepting awards and being given awards like that. Just recently, Billboard has taken away the reggae charts and inserted Afrobeat charts. What's your take on something like that? Like,
I don't consider it. I think reggae and dancehall people, we're not even like own shots and own awards.
Yeah.
So we need to worry about inside our industry before we even worry about what the world I do. And you know what I mean, Billboard and Grammy and whatsoever, then that's theirs.
yes,
You know what I mean?
yes, yes.
Afrobeat tapping into Billboard because them do the groundwork and them love and nurture them own genre
Yeah,
till they get to a point where the world love it.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Our genre I think has been too focused on like individualism and tearing down our foundation.
yeah, yeah.
You get what I mean? So what
Yes.
do we have for Afrobeat? Them have them Afro awards or whatever.
Yeah, yeah. I
Them
understand
Afro
what you're saying.
support system and all of the different things that the artists can become superstars in them genre first before even tapping into
Yeah.
international things. So I don't worry about Grammys and Billboard, but we really should worry about what we have do for ourselves first.
Understood.
Yeah.
Understood. You know, I've had a conversation with Mr. Crawford, Damian Crawford.
Yeah.
Also, you know, I've haven't had an in-depth conversation with Miss Lisa Hanna and stuff like that, and I'm
Right.
trying to allocate to a lot of government and political parties about, you know, artists and sound system and dance hall and reggae music. And I think, I don't know, is it fair to say that they're just not doing enough
Yeah.
for the industry?
Yeah.
And I'm talking from the Jamaica only perspective. They're not doing enough. Is that a fair analogy to say from the outside looking in?
Hands down, yeah.
Hands down.
I think dancehall is kind of demonized in Jamaica,
Mm-hmm.
whereas when you look at every region where popular music is coming from, when you look at K-pop, where the government allot 1% of the national budget
Wow.
for
Wow.
develop the music industry.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In Jamaica, you can't even keep a dance without you get pressure from the government. So it's two different things, and you can't sit in the end product.
Yes. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, one of the most influential, if not the most influential, genres of music globally. But it's just a constant struggle and fight externally and internally. So,
Yeah. How do you stray away from the, like, I haven't heard you get yourself involved in any clashes or other artists, you know, really step into Konshens. I haven't heard it, so I'm not sure if it's been there or not like that, but how do you keep yourself?
everybody gets into them things over the years. But I think we as a culture we put too much emphasis on it. Like, you know, popular selectors will say that the nowadays artists are not sharp because they're not clash and
Yes.
but I think clash is a very destructive thing
Yeah.
to be the foundation of your career. Like it's a thing when you do for fun.
Yeah.
But really and truly how much man really made it from clashing, like about 3 or 4. And how many artists come out of dance and
Yeah.
so the strike rate is different. So you can't really have that as the measuring stick for if an artist is sharp or not.
Yes.
So we put too much emphasis on the negative side of things than it shows.
There you hear it right here on Wizology Show, inside the studios of Reggaeruntings. You know, we're gonna get just about one or few more questions. You know, the social media aspect has taken a real dominance over artistry. A lot of artists feel like radio is unacceptable anymore, that they could do everything through social media, that interviews may not be not be successful, but you're a global superstar, in my personal opinion, and around the world people know it. I've interviewed you on 105 at the radio station that I've done years ago via phone. Now you're here in Canada to perform for a show, and you're here doing an interview. What is it that you, as a global superstar, can still do interviews, still relate to your fan base, still, and you know, it's just that they're not accepting the new ones. They're saying, why social media?
Yo, you know what? I think even radio people underestimate how powerful they are because of the flash of social media. But social media, it's proven. So you can see an artist have 1 million followers and him drop an album and struggle to sell 200.
I see it.
So
I see it. I
you know what I
see
mean?
it.
So
I see it.
it clears DJs and selectors, and I open and listen to this DJs and selectors because the things were happening with everybody are complaining about the new artists and the new acts and all the decline in the music. DJs have a big part to play because I think DJs play for the social media cool as well and not push real music when they know
Really?
what sell.
Really.
So things where they were complaining about them actually are part of the issue.
Yeah.
So for me, I always know say there are a few elements where pivotal to my career, if not every artist, and that is the radio for sure.
Yes.
That is direct contact with people.
Yes.
Meaning when somebody meet you, or you make them feel. People will forget what you say, what you do,
Yeah.
but them not forget what you make them feel. So when you hug up the girl, them and you squeeze them and yeah, they remember 5 years from now, second you squeeze them.
Yeah. Yes.
And what I say a while ago, the radio,
Yeah. The fan base.
the fan base,
Yeah.
there's a third thing, you know. There's a third thing. I don't remember it now, but
Okay.
anyway,
Yeah.
social media is great, but you can't overlook the other elements that were there.
That was, the point that I really, and I'm glad, you said it. I mean, now from an established artist, a global superstar, you hear it for yourself. I mean, social media is just a thing you got to know how to use and not make it use you. And it is what it is.
More double down and said to DJs though,
Yes.
because enough DJs will complain to me about what's current,
Yeah.
but Mr. Vegas send you a song and you don't play it.
Yeah.
And the new youth where you complain to me about, you play that
Yes.
thing around the clock. So you have to understand the spot that you're in, and then for myself as an artist, me a part of the blame too, because when you look at what's happening in Jamaica, and when you talk to artists like myself and artists, Charlie Baxter have global appeal
Yeah.
and fan base, and I'm gonna say no business with what going on in Jamaica. That's what we are saying.
Okay.
So we also are part of the damage you are going. It's like you vacate your yard and give some little youth for run, and
Yes.
them run up and down the night and you complain after that. Go home.
Understood. I learned something today.
Yeah, go
Go
home and
home.
put them back your foot, yeah.
Yeah, go home and study it from the craft and protect your house.
Yeah.
I learned something. Thank you, Konshens. I learned something. All right. This question was a little difficult for me, but it's something that I had to think of because I've seen you overcome, and this is what impressed me about you. Not before that, the music was just absolutely fabulous, but the tragedy of the loss that you took, you maintained through that, and you have helped many people get through that, whether you know it or not, and it's the loss of what we consider an artist, a great artist, who's your brother. You have helped us because you keep going, maintain through, and you've helped people who have had mental health issues. You've helped people who didn't understand what was taking place, and I don't think you understood even for myself, because I was a fan of his, and just seeing you keep going and being solid and being strong, I know that was a life changing moment, and I think I need to say thank you for you just to keep going, for that, to have that process. And that was important for me to say here today, because I don't think you realize how it affected people, and how it helped you. You helped us as fan base, so that's really something to get over with. And I hope maybe down the road there's like a foundation for Dallas. There is.
I think the most important thing is not like, for me, I said I've been strong or I'm overcome it. God, that a lie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But the thing is, to keep moving.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And not making it overcome you.
Yeah.
So it's a everyday struggle, even to this day. And I think that is the facts. I'm sure that to people.
Yes.
People see me break down. People see.
Yeah.
People see say part of my head chip Them system is a different person from before.
Understood.
You know what I mean? And I think seeing that kind of make it normal to be going through something like that and not feel like the world done.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
yeah.
I definitely understand.
Yeah, you've helped many of us, and I'm just going to say myself included, and I really appreciate that because I know what it, I don't know what you've been through, but I just saw that you kept going, and that was impressive for me, and that was like, okay, I'm still on the Konshens road because he's doing it. What to you, and this is my final question, I'll wrap out, what to you is the hardest part of being Konshens?
The standard where I put by myself. I think that's the hardest part, to maintain my personal standard.
Yeah.
Without losing touch of what's happening.
Yeah.
Because as you grow, you realize that a big part of this industry kind of fake, and you can't judge people for being industry.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's a thin line between networking and being a groupie.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying? Like you can't look by somebody come in the room and them talk too much, and you automatically not like them already. Them chat too much, but then the man will walk in the room and him not say nothing.
Yeah.
Why is he even here? You're an artist. You know what I mean? So it's like there's a thin line, and for me, hold myself to that standard and not judge people.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Wow. Listen, it's been an honor and a pleasure to have you here on Wizology Show right here in the studios of Reggaeruntings. Today sponsored by Hip Vodka, of course. So we got to give a big shout out to Hip Vodka. Black Shadow family, the Black Shadow sound system of Toronto, Canada, Brampton, has brought Konshens here to Canada today for a show that is going to be explosive. I mean, if there's an opportunity, if you're in Canada or anywhere in this world to take in a show from Konshens, I guarantee you are never, ever, ever going to be the same when you leave there. I believe that. I've seen shows. I've been a part of this man's music for years, and I hope to continue to be a part of this man's music for years. It's just awesome that you're here. I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad you're still doing music. I think the culture and the business really needs you, and I hope for life that Konshens just keeps going on and on and on and on and on. Big respect in every aspect. This is your host, DJ Wiz, right here on Reggaeruntings Radio, Wizology Show. Make sure you like and subscribe. And we're done.